And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Truck It Right's first spotlight interview. And we are so excited to bring to you this beautiful, talented young lady, Nancy. And she is going to share with us her experience as a female truck driver, her journey, her ups, her downs, her lows, her happies, her frustrations. And the purpose of us bringing this series to you guys is in preparation of October, which is Women Entrepreneurship Month. So we want to start spotlighting women that are not only representing underrepresented industries such as transportation, construction, and so on and so forth, but we also want to encourage more women to look into these underrepresented industries to make transitions to a more financial and stable situation, especially if you have families. A lot of us are single women, single mothers, and we try to make ends meet, and we just are not educated about the opportunities that are out there. So that's the purpose of myself, Tamaris Massengale, as Shanti Hoffman, which is my beautiful business partner. She'll be joining us a little bit later, but we're not going to hold this young woman up. She is amazing. She is talented. She is thriving, and we couldn't be more elated to have her as our first guest to interview. So without further ado, we're going to bring to you, young lady, and take it away. Give us a little information about who you are, what you're about, why you got into this industry, and then we'll break into the basically information that we discussed earlier.
Awesome. Again, I am Nancy Deed, aka the Beverly Hills Trucker, and I'm really honored that you guys would reach out and ask me to be a part of your wonderful platform so that I can share my journey, share my story to empower other amazing and fabulous women out there. It's just an exciting time for women in non-traditional roles. And if you'd asked me several years ago if I would be driving an 18-wheeler or part of the logistics industry, I would have smacked you in the face with a pie. Yes. No way, Jose.
Right. Exactly. I was the same way. When I used to think about dump trucks, I thought about trash. Like, oh, no, I'm not jumping anybody's dump truck. Are you crazy?
Yes, absolutely. I'm right there with you when it comes to trash and getting dirty. And it's such a joke because my family and friends who now know that I'm a part of the trucking industry, they're still in awe, like, no way, this girl loves lipstick and pumps too much. No way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Nancy, welcome. And again, thank you for making time in your very busy on the go schedule. So we have just a few questions that are general questions that we've combined from our audience, and we just thought it would be exciting and thrilling to just hear your points and your views on the industry. So our first question, of course, is just tell us a little bit about yourself. Talk about your family, your status, your religion, your belief, things of that nature.
Sure. Well, actually, I have 3 adult children, and I'm single right now. I'm a single lady living in Atlanta. For the most part, I have a home base in Atlanta, but of course, as an over-the-road trucker, I'm always on the go. I'm a part of the All 48. I run All 48, and I typically spend about 25 days on the road.
Oh,
and
wow.
I spend about 25 days on the road because there's no one at my house but my plants, and they don't miss me too much. So,
So I had to jump in really quick, guys. I know you're not able to see this beautiful young lady except for her headshot, which is absolutely amazing. But let me tell you, she does not look like she has 3 grown children. Okay. So I'm just gonna throw that in there. We already know black don't crack, but this young woman has definitely taken care of herself. So kudos to you, Ms. Nancy.
Thank you so much for the compliments. And of course, black does not crack. We know
Right?
that. Yes. That is true. That is so true. And I'm honored and grateful that my kids have transitioned to young adults and they're doing their own things. And of course, I'm not married and I'm divorced.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons how I got into trucking.
Okay.
By
Okay.
the divorce kind of sent me a message to go ahead and jump into logistics. So I'm sure we'll get to that shortly. But I am a woman of faith. I'm a Christian.
Okay.
And faith is a big part of my life.
Okay.
As far as hobbies and having fun, I am an adventurous woman. Fun fact, as we've listed on your platform, that I walked across the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm one of those girls. I'm just a unicorn all the way around. I do kind of stuff that make people go,
My
really,
gosh.
really, really. Yes, that's me.
Nancy, you walked across the Golden Gate Bridge. Oh my God. How
Yes.
was it? You got to bring us into that. Just give us a little snippet.
Well, basically, I went on a trip to San Francisco to relax, to hang out with myself. And this was during the time of some personal changes in my life. And I said, you know what? I'm going to conquer my fears of heights. So I'm going to walk across this Golden Gate Bridge. And I asked the taxi driver, I said, can you take me to the Golden Gate Bridge? And he says, sure. He said, are you going to attempt to walk across the bridge? I said, yes. And he laughed. He says, well, I do this every day where people say they're going to walk across it. And he said, I'll be parked over there. And typically what people do, they call me when they get halfway or to a certain point because they get stuck and I have to go and get them. So I'll be parked on the other side waiting for you. Yeah,
So take that, Mr. Taxi Cab Driver.
Yes, I got halfway across and I looked into the water and I said, you have an option. You can go back or you can keep going. I said, well, you're almost there. And I kept going. So it was a wonderful adventure for me. And I dropped a lot of baggage off in that water is what I did. I really
Wow.
did. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a mouthful, Nancy. I don't know if anybody else is going to pick up on that, but I definitely did. Where, you know, that's true to life. You can
Yes.
come halfway and you have a decision. You're going to look back and slip back into your old ways, or you're going to say, you know what, I'm going to cross this bridge and I'm going to see what's on the other side. So Nancy, that's a powerful testimony. It's a powerful testimony.
Yes, it is. It is.
Absolutely. So our next question is going to be, what prompted you to get into the industry?
Good question. Actually, I received a text message, and the text message was from my husband, who's now my ex-husband. But at the time, we were married, and I received a text message. He was asking me for a divorce via text message.
Wow.
True
Wow.
story. Yeah,
Wow.
he sent the good old text message, and I read the message, and I said, okay, well, he's having a bad day. We'll figure it out.
Right.
So we talked about it, and he says, no, I'm serious. I think that I'm over the married life. I want to be single.
No way.
And it floored me because I had poured everything in my soul into this marriage because I really wanted it to work and I wanted to rock in the rocking chair with him and walk around as a old couple and us have a good time, but it didn't work out that way. So when he made his decision and I begged and pleaded and begged and pleaded and he was set in his mind as to what he was going to do, I heard a voice from God and God says, let it go.
Mm.
Let it go.
Wow.
Yeah. And I did
Wow.
just that. I let it go and I surrendered to the process, not knowing what was coming after that. So after that time, I prayed to God and says, God, what's next? Because my life is not going to look the same. And I don't know what's on the other. I don't know what's on the other side.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I prayed and God gave me an answer. One day I was going on a road trip. And as I'm going on a road trip, I think a lot as I'm driving in the passenger
Right.
car.
Right.
So I pull into a Love's truck stop and I would normally pull in to get fuel for my passenger car. So that was what I was doing at the time. And I'm really sad and I'm depressed. And I walk in and this gentleman walks up to me and he says, how are you doing today? And I said, woe is me. Life is bad. Everybody hates me.
Right.
The dog broke up with me. The husband broke up with
Not
me.
the dog.
The job doesn't like me. Nobody likes me. Life is horrible. And he like,
Right.
whoa, all I said was good morning, lady. All
Right.
I said was good morning. And he says, well, he says, have you ever thought about becoming a truck driver? And I went, side eye, please. Side
Right.
eye. Did he just ask me? I'm dressed up. I got on my makeup.
Right.
I'm looking good, smelling good. And he says, have you ever thought about being a truck driver? So I gave him a side eye and I shook my head. No, I said, no, sir. As we're talking, maybe 2 minutes into that conversation, another gentleman walks up, overhears the conversation. And he says, you should be a truck driver. And then 2 minutes
Wow.
later, another driver walks up. He says, you should be a truck driver. So 3 wise men in
Wow.
Love's truck stop.
I
3
love it.
wise men.
I love it. I love
gave
it.
me
Wow.
a little bit of information about becoming a truck driver. So me being a woman of faith, I took it like, okay, God, either I'm being punked or you got something to say.
Right.
You got something to say. So I researched it. I kept quiet. I researched the information, and I finally released it to my family. Mm-hmm. And they thought I was going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So they said, you know what?
Of course.
We get ready to lock her up because she said she's going to be a trucker. Really? And I researched information. I selected a trucking school, went to trucking school, left trucking school, got on the truck with my trainer for 4 weeks and never looked back.
Wow. That is awesome.
Yes.
So ladies and our gentlemen, if you're tuning in, of course, we welcome everyone. But ladies, if you're listening, and I'm sure somebody right now has this exact same testimony, and you're trying to figure out which way you want to go, please consider it. Even if you don't stick with it, this is something that's you can invest in is less than $5,000 for training. You don't have to deal with Sally Mae. You don't have to deal with getting any major loans. And you literally will see the return on your investments, if not immediately, close to it. So just want to throw that in there for some of you that might want to, tune off. Oh, they're just some ladies talking. No, there is meaning and there's purpose in this interview. And this young woman is being so gracious to give us her complete transparency about her life experience. And like she said, she hasn't turned back yet. So with that being said, our next question is, how long have you been in the field?
I've been in trucking now 2 years behind the wheel, but prior to that in my corporate life, and I always tell people, God always prepares the steps before he actually puts you on the staircase. Yes. Yes. Prior to that, I was in corporate in manufacturing, risk management, training and development.
Wow.
Yes. So I would see the trucks come in and out and the machinery, but I was walking in a different role then. And I would talk to people, but never really engage on that level because I never saw myself on the other side.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So pretty funny story.
Wow.
Though. So I have 20 plus years in some form of human resources, in risk management, training development, in manufacturing. And it's just been one of those things where both worlds collided. Awesome.
So I know you shared a little bit of your personal testimony, but just in case there may be some other obstacles that you may have faced, when you began this journey, what were some obstacles that you faced getting started, and how did you overcome them? Besides, the unfortunate turn of events with your ex-husband.
Well, the first obstacle was walking into a male-dominated industry, and as a female, and I present a lot of feminine energy. A lot of feminine energy coming from corporate America, coming from my lifestyle. So coming out in a masculine world, there was a learning curve where I had to learn the different body languages from the men, because the different communication style from the men, and there's a different language. We have the same end result, but the communication is different. And me being a girl who likes lipstick and makeup and the earrings and all the feminine dress, I didn't realize the messages that I was sending.
Mm. Yeah, Miss Nancy. I'm sure you coming into an environment where somebody's probably been on the road about 4, 5 weeks.
Yes. And I was saying, hey, come get me. Hey, come get me.
I'm single, gentlemen. I'm single.
Yes. And I was also sending out other messages because I'm recently divorced. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot going on there. And understanding that the tone, the language,
Mm-hmm.
men in the trucking industry, they are about check, check, done.
Yeah.
Check, check, done.
Mm-hmm.
And coming from corporate, there was a lot of him and Han that I brought.
Yeah.
And they taught me how that doesn't work in trucking. Him and Han doesn't work in logistics.
Mm-hmm.
It does not
Okay.
work.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the communication piece was one obstacle. The second obstacle was understanding that in this industry, because I'm a female, the expectations are that I'm out here not for the same reasons that they are.
Well, elaborate on that. What do you mean?
And when I say that meaning that, oh, she's just playing. She's not serious about it. She's
Oh,
just,
okay. Okay. Yeah, that
she,
makes sense.
yeah,
Okay.
she's not real serious about it. So when a woman comes into the industry, I will say this for me, because I had such a wonderful trainer who taught me to be a really great trucker, my skill set was top notch. So
Okay.
I had to earn the respect from my male peers coming into the industry.
Okay.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
definitely.
Set the record straight, Miss Nancy. Set the record straight. She is not here to play with you guys, okay? She is here for the queens.
Yes, securing the bags.
Securing the bag. Okay.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
so with saying that as that an obstacle, like, so what did you implement to help overcome that? Was that just you developing relationships with mentors that, taught you how to carry yourself, or what you need, or it was just you being observant and say, okay, I need to shift gears? What were some points that you could share with us on if we're thinking about getting into that industry, or if we're new to that industry, some things that we may want to try to adapt to as well?
Number one is master the craft.
Got it.
Master the craft, because what I learned is once they knew that I knew my business and knew what I was doing, then the respect came number one, and number two, help came after that.
Got it.
People always tend to help people who are helping themselves.
That's a word right there, Miss Nancy. We're gonna get you to write a book. We're gonna get you a women's truck
Oh,
driver book or something. Cause you spitting knowledge tonight, boy. I hope y'all taking
yeah.
notes, because this is some words of wisdom that we need to apply, even if you're not in the transportation industry. That is so very true. Help me, help you, help you. How about that?
Absolutely. If and when I did get, into little situations where I needed help, I always helped myself, because first and foremost, I mastered, again, like I said, the skill set. I knew that truck from beginning to end, from front to back, from all sides and all angles, because I didn't come in this game to play. I came to win. I
Right.
came to change my whole life. I came in with all hands on deck, both feet 10 toes down, whatever you want to say. So when
Yeah.
I came as a student, and then
Okay.
I mastered my craft for me so that I would be successful on the road.
Okay. So basically, you're saying you came in with a humbled spirit, not coming in bringing, although you were a boss in your previous arena and you were running the ship, you understood off the back that, hey, this is not my playing ground, or this is not my field. So let me humble myself in a matter where I can be received and be taught what I need to be taught with the same intensity that you're coming to the game, because they can jump on and they can teach you, but are they really going to teach you what you need to learn in order to win? Or are they going to teach you what you need to learn just for you to have the bare minimum? So that's a very key point that you just made, being humbled and allowing yourself to be taught and playing to a certain extent, being a bit submissive, so you can get what you need to get where you got to go.
Listen, a lot of submission, and being a student. You're never not a student. Once you stop being a student, whatever industry you're in, get out, please get out.
Yeah,
because every day is a learning opportunity. And I came in very humble. I came in very focused, and I came in not knowing anything from the standpoint. There was a reason I had a trainer. There was a reason I had instructors in trucking school. There was a reason that I was there. No matter how much wisdom, knowledge, and information from my corporate world coming into the logistics and trucking world, I didn't know anything. I was like a kindergartner, and I acted as such. You know.
Right. Again, that's a big key factor to being successful in a short period of time. Understanding that everybody has a role to play, and you have to be able to play that role in its perfect timing. So, my beautiful business partner, Miss Hoffman, has finally joined in. She was out there securing that bag. You know, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Hi, Nancy. Hi.
How are you?
We are so honored to have you as our first guest speaker, by the way.
Oh my goodness. I'm honored that you guys allowed and invited me to be a part of your amazing world of logistics and hauling that good old dirty to get that clean money.
Right? Absolutely. So Shanti's going to jump in and pick up on thank you again. I really, I just don't want to lose the momentum, and I hope that those are listening are understanding that these are some real behind the scenes nuggets that are being given, some gems that are being given that will help you be successful. We get a lot of people on our inboxes in our email talking about, my uncle had a dump truck business, or my auntie or my cousins, and they wind up having to sell it, and to each his own, I'm a true believer. What you speak into existence is going to manifest. If you say it's going to be a field, if it's a game, then that's what it's going to be. But I think arming yourself with knowledge and wisdom, and again, speaking to what you just spoke on as far as being humbled, to learn and master your craft is going to help you with your success. So take it away, Miss Shanti, to our next question.
Where are we at? I'm sorry. 6. Okay. So Miss Nancy, what are some of your dislikes about being a female driver on the road for long periods of time?
My number one dislike, I'm a girl, I like to take baths. So in a truck stop, listen, let's keep it 100% real.
Right?
I am a bath girl. I like my soaps, my fragrances, my spa stuff. And at the truck stops, I have to stand in the middle of the shower to make sure I don't touch those walls, or my feet don't fall from my shower shoes, that kind of thing. So I miss the comforts of my bathtub.
I bet.
I do. But I also came into the industry knowing that it's a lifestyle. And I have to share that with a lot of women who, stop me and ask me questions. I said, this is not a job. This is a lifestyle. And if you're not willing to shift your perspective, your living style, your behavior, then don't get into the industry, because this is not for the whiners. This is not for the wimps. I wear pumps. I wear my makeup, but I also adjust to the fact that I get to the truck stop and there's a shower, or sometimes I have to go a day and a half and I don't get a shower, so I have to improvise. I have, dry soaps and shampoos and all kind of things that I use for toiletries, but it's kind of like being a 24-hour camper, because you have to improvise. You have to be flexible. You have to have the mindset is that this is only for a couple of hours that I have to be dirty or sweaty. And then as soon as I get to the point where I can stop and shower, then I can do so. So it comes with planning, and it also comes with that you're not in control of anything except nothing. When it comes to trucking.
Isn't that life though? Isn't that life? We trick ourselves all the time thinking we running something. Yeah, okay. Let's see. God want to reach down and grab your heart for a few seconds. You gonna control that?
Yeah. So I would say that, but being on the road, living in the truck, because keep in mind, it's a little condo on wheels. That's your house.
Right.
So mine is decorated, and all of my
What
comforts
color
are
is
there.
it? What
It's
color is?
red.
Oh,
She's
cute.
Cinderella. Her name is Cinderella. Yeah, Cinderella.
Oh, oh wow. Cinderella Red. Okay. All right.
Yes, yes, yes. There's a story behind why her name is Cinderella. You know, if you read the fairy tale, you'll figure out why her name is Cinderella. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so what do you enjoy most about being a female driver?
I love the fact that one of my first solo trips across the country, I'll never forget this. I was actually in Virginia and I was taking a load there, but underneath my truck, my brakes started malfunctioning. And I
Oh,
had to actually pull off. And as I pulled off to the side, I had to get underneath the trailer. I was in the middle of traffic, middle of rush hour traffic, but I had to stop. And I pulled over in the middle of traffic, got underneath the trailer, and I was checking the brakes because in trucking school, you have to learn all parts of that truck. You can't just drive down the street, say, I'm just driving. You have
right.
to learn in the event that something happens that you can try to fix it or try to patch it up until you can actually get someone out there to take care of you. But at any rate, there's a woman on the side of the street and I hear someone yelling and cheering. And I thought, what is she doing? She said, I'm talking to you, lady. I said, I'm sorry, what's wrong? She is cheering for me. This is a homeless lady on the side of the street cheering for me.
Wow.
She said to me, she said, I've never seen a woman drive a truck. You go, girl. And at that moment when I wanted to cry because my truck was falling apart, I couldn't because there was someone cheering for me on the sidelines
Oh,
with the
wow.
homeless sign. And I'll never forget that. And at that moment, I knew, I said, this is a big deal. This is a big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
rare. It's rare to see that,
It
especially a
is.
woman getting down and dirty under a truck.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
awesome. That's an awesome
Yeah.
story. That's a good memory to hold on to.
Yeah.
Absolutely is a good memory. Yeah, I mean, and then you think about it, you don't know who else was driving by. It could have been a little girl, it could have been, a woman that was, transitioning in life. It could have been a man that was transitioning in life. I mean, you just never know, It's the moment you step outside of your door, you're immediately on a stage. So, that's why it's important to put your best foot forward because there's always someone watching. My mother used to tell us when we were growing up, when you think nobody's watching, that's when everybody's watching.
Exactly.
You're exactly right. There are a lot of people that were watching me in the struggle that I had no idea were watching me, but they were also silently cheering for me.
Yeah.
And I would get messages and I could stop at a truck stop, I could stop at a Walmart or whatever, and someone would always send a whisper or send a hug or something saying, keep going, keep going. I support you. I'm cheering for you. So
And
I
that is
get a
the
lot of
best
that out
feeling in the
there.
world.
That
Oh my
is.
goodness.
And it
Yes.
helps. It really helps because when you want to give up, you just think about that person that said you got this.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
So, what are the first 3 things you do when you come off the road?
The first thing that I do when I come off the road, I take a bath. Number one, at my house, I get home, I get in the tub because I like to take a bath. I love baths. So I do that. And then I get in my bed. And I'm typically there in my bed doing nothing for the first 24, 36 hours.
I
Like,
bet.
don't call me, don't text me, don't email me, none of that. I'm just there, like soaking it all in because the lifestyle I have adjusted my mind to. When I'm working, I'm working, and when I'm playing. So when I
Right.
get home is my playtime for the most part. And I relax and then I catch up on the second thing I do would be go to get my hair done. I will go because my hair normally lasts for about 20 some odd days without falling apart. Without falling apart. So I'll go get my hair done and I'll go get a mani and a pedi. And then I fall back into the extra feminine Nancy. I don't have to be as, rough and rugged out there on the road because I'm home and I can kind of enjoy the comforts of being home again. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So if you could change any negative perceptions about females in the transportation industry, what would it be and how would you do it?
Well, I think I've already started that by the way that I carry myself. When I got into the trucking industry, I was determined to keep my feminine energy because I'm a feminine girl. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not trying to be feminine. I was born feminine. I enjoy my femininity. It's never going to change. It's always going to be that way. I love my lipsticks, my earrings. I love dressing. I love all of that. And that doesn't have to change because you decide to drive the 18-wheeler.
Mm-hmm.
So I bring that energy every day, even if I'm in my jeans and my sweats. It's still that feminine energy there, and that's going to remain a constant with me, whether I'm in the dump truck or 18-wheeler or whatever I may be driving at the time. I'm going to bring that part of the extra sauciness, I say, of being a woman. I enjoy being a woman, and most people have this perception that the women who enter the industry that we don't like being women. We want to be a man.
Right.
It just so happened I'm a female in a male dominated industry. I'm not trying to be anything other than who I am.
I love it.
I love it too.
I love it.
That is a misconception. It's crazy. But you know what? I love it that a lot of women are now entering quote unquote men position jobs. And I don't even feel like I don't know why it's people picture that to be, it has to be only men. I never understood that. But because of women like you, it makes sense and we understand.
Yeah, I think that started back when blue collar work was really, really popular, and back many years ago where the women stayed home and they took care of the family from the standpoint of staying home, and society was at that place. But times have changed, situations have changed, and you can, still take care of home and be an over-the-road trucker if you have a great support base. It just so happens that my children are young adults and I'm not married, but if I was married, then I still could make it work. It's just having the right tools in place, the right support system in place, and the right mindset in place. So again, I have to remind people, and they go, wow, you are a female trucker, you're out here. How do you do that? Or some guys have even said to me, is that you don't belong here. You don't look like you belong here. I said, well, I know how to belong here, and I know how to stay here, and I know how to be successful here. So I'm not going anywhere.
I know that's right.
I know
that's right.
Yeah.
I know that is right. So with us starting to wrap it up, what advice would you give to women listening right now that may be teetering between the idea of becoming a truck driver?
I would say this first and foremost, whether you're going to come into the logistics industry as a trucker or whatever, make a decision, stick to it, make your plan. And I'm, like I said, a woman of faith, and Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision and make it plain. So write your vision, make it plain, stick to it, and don't let anyone change your mind about what you're going to do, because people will try to place fear in your heart about trucking. I hear it all the time, be safe. And I say, don't say that to me oftentimes, or I'll ignore you, because I say, did you tell the teacher to be safe? Did you tell the police officer to be safe?
Right.
Did you tell the lady at the Kroger to be safe, or whatever? And I understand what you're saying, but again, I don't accept that, because my angels travel with me wherever I go.
Right.
And I'm not going to allow anyone to place their fears inside of my heart, because I walk with faith, I walk with courage. And of course I use my 5 senses and I pay attention, but I also know exactly what I'm doing out there. I know exactly what I'm doing. And I would tell them that don't not let yourself not do it. Do not talk yourself out of it. And the thing about trucking is, once you make a decision to get in it, like, give yourself less than 30 days to go to trucking school, less than 30 days to get on the truck with your trainer, and don't look back, because the fear, the biggest part of it is the intimidation of that massive machine.
Right. Absolutely.
She just made me want to go get my CDL. We've been talking about this for a long time now, Tamaris. It's time.
Yeah.
Yes, it's time. It is time to do that. It is it's a wonderful time, because women, we only represent 6% of the industry.
Yes.
6%. That's not even a dent.
Yep. That's so very true. That's so very true. Well, again, we thank you so very much for making time for us. But before we go, I want you to just tell us a little bit about your movement, what you have going on, And how do you see you thriving and growing in this industry? Are you planning to purchase a truck, or have you purchased a truck, or where do you see yourself going with this?
Well, initially, when I got in the industry, I got in the industry to regroup from the pitfalls of life, like I said, the divorce, and to make enough money and to heal on the road. That was my only plan. But along the way, things shifted, and God started sending different people to me to tell me, you got a bigger purpose. You have a bigger mission, that you can't just go in here selfishly and do this and master it and not bring a truckload, a boatload, a worldload of women with you who are excited and they want to get in. It's your responsibility to help somebody else get in the game,
Right.
and to help them not just get in the game, to master the game and to really enjoy the truck driving lifestyle, so to speak. So my next movement is, I've started a platform called Just Give Me the Keys. And what that is I'm traveling the country holding workshops of talking to women face to face and being able to answer a lot of the tough questions that they have, and they don't have anybody to mentor them or talk to them about what it's really like to get into the industry. How much money can I make? What's my life gonna be like? All the ins and out as it relates to trucking. So I see myself as somewhat of a cheerleader for other women who want to get into the industry.
Well, that is amazing news, because that's definitely the road and the path that we're on. Don't be surprised you get a call this time next year and say, girl, we need you to come and be on this panel real quick.
Right.
Yes,
Sooner than
definitely.
that.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, again, we just thank you so very much. We're going to wrap it up a little bit. Shanti, you want to close it out with any remarks or your thoughts or your feelings?
Yeah, so I'm sorry I missed half of it, but as soon as we log off, I will be listening to the whole thing. You seem or are an amazing woman, and we could appreciate women like you because we're trying to do the same thing. We're trying to open up doors for other women, single moms, anybody that just wants to get in the industry. We're here to help just like you, and we appreciate your time and your advice. We take everything. Every day we're learning something new, right, Tamaris? So
Absolutely.
just hearing your story and what you've gone through, it's just amazing, the little bit that I heard.
Yes, yes. Again, I want to thank you guys, and I see what you're doing, especially from the standpoint of dump trucks. You've opened my eyes when it comes to that, because sometimes we become siloed when we're in that 18-wheeler. But
Yeah.
as of late, I've opened my eyes to so many different areas when it comes to supply chain and logistics and driving dump trucks or driving 18-wheelers or sprinters or whatever. It's a $800 billion
Yep.
industry, and it's a lucrative industry for any woman or man, for that matter, who's
Exactly.
really wanting to do something. Is there work involved? Absolutely. But that's any industry. You're going to have to work to get what you want out of life. But again, I'm excited for what's coming. If now is the time to get in, I don't care what the naysayers are saying about trucking's in a recession. Life is about seasons and cycles, and now is the
Absolutely.
perfect time to get your CDL. Now's the perfect time to find some mentors and find the perfect situation for yourself, whatever that word perfect means anyway.
Right.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
agree 100%.
Absolutely. So, Nancy, some of our young ladies that may be on the East Coast or West Coast or wherever, if they wanted to reach out to you and get more information about the workshops that you're hosting, or maybe even, hiring you as a consultant or just being a mentor to them, how can they reach you?
They can reach me. They can find me on Instagram. I am such an Instagram fan. I am like so Insta. I am on Instagram as the Beverly Hills Trucker. That's my personal page. And I have my professional page called Just Give Me the Keys. That's also on Instagram. So you can actually send me a direct message there, and I will definitely reach out and do my best to either come to your city. And I also do one-on-one and one-to-one coaching as it relates to trucking as well.
Okay,
Awesome.
sounds good.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen and ladies, we greatly appreciate you for tuning in. We hope that this wonderful woman of God has blessed you like she's blessed us. The I hope that you listened to it a couple of times and just, I mean, because she was dropping nuggets left and right. I couldn't keep up, but you know what I mean? I mean, she was just blessing me left and right. I mean, just really speaking to my spirit, man. So I hope that she's done the same for you. Keep in mind, we do have a workshop that we're hosting here in California, Culver City, California. It's going to be the 12th of October. It's going to be at the Four Points Sheraton in Culver City, right next to the old Fox Hills Mall. If you want more information about that, visit our website at www.truckitright.com. You can purchase your tickets. You can find out some of the other services that we provide as well. Or you can, DM us on our Instagram, Facebook page, or even through our YouTube as well. But again, we just thank you all. We hope this has helped you make that decision. Get off the ledge, go ahead and jump, because it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. So with that being said,
one more thing, watch out.
Uh-oh.
Because Truck It Right will be coming to a city near you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yay, 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 yay.
Thank you, Miss Nancy. You enjoy the rest of your evening, and we definitely will be keeping in contact with you. We appreciate you so very much.
Thank you, ladies, and I'll be talking to you guys soon.
Okay,
All right.
bye, ladies.
Okay,
Good
bye.
night.
Awesome.